free-for-all. They can't know we were here. Erase all hostiles.
What's up, everybody? Jake is the guy here, and today I'm going to blow all of your guys' minds, all of your dirty minds. No, I'm sure you're all very incredibly smart individuals, and you must be because you're subscribed to BearsArePeopleToo. Just before we start is a quick free-for-all with the Vector, I believe clocking in at around 4.5 minutes. Something like that. I had to go a little bit AFK for a second there because, I don't know, some sort of issues with... Anyway, let's begin my talk, and I feel almost like a university professor for what I'm about to say. But anyhow, I've been recently enjoying the series with both Dara Breen and Professor Brian Cox on just the universe and the world in general and how incredibly insane everything is. And they were talking about, one of the recent episodes, how the universe, how people believe the universe began and ended, and will end, obviously. Luckily, by the time you see this, the universe won't have ended yet. And I just think that, actually, just before we enter this whole discussion, what I think will happen, I mean, I'm no astrophysicist, but I can have an opinion on the matter, that sometimes you just feel like maybe the universe doesn't have a beginning or anything. Of course, the Big Bang Theory is just that, it's only a theory. Nobody knows yet. There's been no proof or any real scientific evidence to back up. Well, of course there has been some, and it does make sense. But there still could be 100 other explanations for where we came from. But every once in a while, you just get that mind-blown feeling where maybe this all makes sense. And just the idea that there has been no beginning and no end, and time is just perhaps relative only to us and not to anything else. I don't know. I think that's pretty insane. And yeah, maybe we're just going to be here forever. I mean, obviously not us personally. I doubt the human race is going to survive for more than a couple thousand years more, maybe. I don't know, we've been around long enough to be fair. But the universe as a whole, that's just going to keep on trucking. Even the Earth will end sometime, but I think us, no, we're not going to outlive. Anyway, my opinion on the beginning and the ending of the universe. They said something about gravity taking over, and I've kind of adopted this idea. I think that probably what's going to happen is if we take fractals, for example, I'll describe what fractals are. Pretty much the way everything works in nature, because fractals is a very mathematical idea. Everything is just the same, but on a different scale. For example, if you were to take a microscope to something, and it would look like, it's hard to explain. If you want to find out more about the theory of fractals, just do a YouTube search for the Mandelbrot set. And that is, it's a great video that'll explain a whole load of, it'll show you in a visual form as well how it works, and it's really interesting, so have a look at that to kind of explain what I mean by fractals. But anyway, everything is just on a different scale, and so from that I take a look at the way stars work. So let's just kind of explain the life of the star. It begins via a nuclear fusion ignition. I'm no astrophysicist, as I said, I have no idea really how any of this works, but I have basic knowledge on the subject matter, so we can begin on that. The age of the star, I mean, the start of the star and its main life isn't really the important bit to us, but the age depends on the mass. It lives as long as it has enough hydrogen and helium to fuel it. It requires insane amounts of energy to keep on burning, obviously, because it needs to fight the gravitational pull inwards against the gas pressure pushing outwards. You need to maintain an equilibrium between the two. And eventually the energy runs out and gravity wins, essentially, and the star starts to come together in the middle again. It just kind of a reverse, gets bigger. I'm looking for the word and I really can't find it. Contracts, there we go. And there's a whole lot of stuff about solar masses being important and what happens with the star. But essentially it becomes either a white dwarf or a black hole. And, well, I mean, you guys all know what happens with black holes. And it just ends up sucking in everything. And maybe that's just what's going to happen with the universe. I know people say that the universe is, expanding all the time, and maybe eventually it's going to stop expanding and start contracting again and just go into one. But perhaps, I don't know, that maybe that is what I think would be the one way I can imagine the universe ending. By basing my knowledge on the stars. And hopefully you've enjoyed this slightly more, I guess, intellectual commentary. If you have, then leave a like, rating, and a comment. And what do you think is going on with this entire universe? Because really, it's all a bit of a mystery.